Oh my god, she's cool! Well, the music just changed so suddenly. What is happening? No! Keep the darkness out of this! You can fly! Oh yeah! Let's see more of her! Oh my god, dude! Look at her sword! There's no way I'm not going to have her. Take them all! You're back already? Just you can't get enough of Hoyoverse content. What's the crack, lads, ladies, and all of you beautiful Hoyoverse fans around the world? Yes, I know you've been waiting for this one. Part 2 of me reacting and watching every single trailer from Genshin Impact from the year 2022 to present day. It continues. Now, I know a lot of you haven't been very pleased with how I approached my reactions in the first part of this series, and I'm not sorry. Do you know why I'm not sorry? Because I can see a lot of you. Yeah, you even there in the back, little Timmy.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
A lot of you are not subscribed. Until then, I won't feel bad about it. But anyway, we're back with Genshin Impact. And lads, I really enjoyed what I reacted to in the first episode. And I hope you guys have enjoyed my reactions to the Honkai Star Rail stuff. Link in the description, or just click on the channel and then watch that video. Have fun with it, because part 2 is on the way, so you don't want to miss it. So ladies and gentlemen, we're back. And this time, like I did with the Honkai Star Rail video, Mark's one shot has come through for us once again. Everybody, let's praise Mark for a moment, please. What a ledge. So we have a list of trailers to watch, and since I've already covered a ton of trailers in the first video, I'm sure there's not a whole lot for us to watch here today.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, there's 79 trailers. I said this is going to be a 2-part series, didn't I? Well, I think that might have to change. Depending on how far we get here today, ladies and gentlemen, this might be a 3-parter. This might be a 3-man job! Ah, f*** off. Just me then. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, strap yourselves in. Get your headphones on for the absolute best experience, because today we're going to watch every single Genshin Impact trailer. Alright, so I made sure to tell Mark that I want a spoiler-free list, and I made sure to also tell him not to add anything that's way over 10 minutes, because I'll be here all day if that's the case. But he's included all of the important character information, character trailers, updates, etc, etc, etc. So don't you worry. But first of all, we have version 3.1 King Deshret and the 3 Maggie trailer. I love how the first trailer is 6 minutes. Okay, this is a big one.
I had the same question every time I walked this way when I was a kid. Why is this high wall here? And can a wall really block sandstorms? It was only after I grew up that I realized it serves a more important purpose, keeping out people like us.
We've waited a long time.
There is an actual desert in Genshin Impact.
Finally dealt me a hand to play against the Academia.
Do you think the resurrection of the Scarlet King can truly change Sumeru for the better?
The resurrection of the Scarlet King will only result in war. And war serves no one.
There's a Cleopatra-looking character. Remember, I was super impressed by the Egyptian-looking characters in this?
That's why I must also wield a spear.
Candace, Golden Vow. My queen. She is awesome.
Yeah! Do your worst.
Parry gods?
Your blessing.
You've betrayed our village. Don't do anything until I've gotten to the bottom of this. Try something foolish.
There's the other character. Sino, Judicator of Secrets. Oh my god, this area looks so sick! Even the enemies look so good. You can summon like alligators.
Justice is served.
If we're unhappy, we should speak up and let our voices
And that's
be heard.
Nilo, Dance of Lotus Light.
Positions. Huh. Yeah.
Elegant, sweet, adorable. She's baiting mushrooms.
All eyes on me.
Life for the desert dwellers has been brutal ever since the Scarlet King's death all those years ago. Feelings of desperation are widespread.
Traitors are what us followers of the Scarlet.
Wait, whoa, who's
Revealing our
with the long
whereabouts
hair?
to the
Oh my god, she's cool! Who's that? Whoa, hang on. Don't be holding out on me, Genshin. Who's that? These enemies are on a different scale.
Answer me this. Did the sages share any information about their project with you?
We're cheap labor. Like livestock, but easier to control. Nothing more.
Whoa, look at her sword.
My experiment is a success. And now it seems they can no longer hold back their sheer adoration.
What? They really stab her in the back?
There is no need to fear. The pain will be brief. Your era is coming to an end.
Okay, that did not feel like 6 minutes. That felt like 2. Oh, actually, it's only been 3 minutes. There's more. I thought that was it.
I am Mika, surveyor of the Reconnaissance Company. I will now be reading Grandmaster Varka's letter aloud for you all.
Does this mean the Grandmaster knew Razor's parents?
Fill up the barrels and store them away. Then wait for a windier day. Wax the bottles, seal them tight.
I seen this already.
For the south wind that
this
soothes,
part.
for the north wind that bites.
Dear friends, let us now open the wines.
To the Animal Archon!
To the Animo Archon. Alright, so when it comes to any of this gameplay stuff, not going to watch any of it until I start playing the game again, because it's not going to matter too much to me right now. Next trailer is this one that so many of you were telling me I missed. Well, here it is!
When I woke up, I was riding in a flower carriage. I just had a dream. I dreamed it was my birthday.
The voice.
In the dream, the Knight of Flowers and his retainers found me. Oh, Archon, we finally found you. The people can't wait to meet you. The Sub-Zero's festival began, and everyone smiled as they gathered around me. Finally, I got back on the carriage and waved goodbye. When I woke up, I was riding in a flower carriage. I just had a dream. I dreamed it was my birthday. In the dream, the Knight of Flowers and his retainers found me. Oh, Archon, we finally found you. The people can't wait to meet you.
Why is she repeating herself?
The festival began, and everyone smiled as they gathered around me. Finally, I got back on the carriage and waved goodbye.
Getting deja vu watching this trailer.
When I woke up, I was riding in a flower carriage.
Why is that music just changed so suddenly?
I just had a dream. I dreamed it was my birthday.
What is
In the
happening?
dream, the Knight of Flowers and his retainers found me. Oh, Archon, we finally found you. The people can't wait to meet you. The Sub-Zero's festival began, and everyone smiled as they gathered around me. Finally, I got back on the carriage and waved goodbye. When I woke up, I was riding in a flower carriage. It was my birthday. Happy birthday, Nahida.
I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. That made me feel very uncomfortable. I felt so bad for her. What? That got really dark. Let's have a look at the character demo and let's just forget what we watched, yeah?
Are you ready? 3, 2, 1.
Wait, what are those? Koroks?
I spy a new friend.
Nahida. Physic of purity? Whoa, swimming. Giant flowers. This is a very pretty trailer. I like this trailer better. This trailer is much better. Much better. I like it. This is a really, really gorgeous trailer. No! Keep the darkness out of this! What's happening now? I actually have no words to describe like how incredibly beautiful the trailer is and how the immediate feeling and emotion change from the transition to a more darker tone gets you. What the hell? Alright, so now we have the collected miscellany of this character, so we'll get to see how this character actually plays on the field.
Lesser Lord Kusanali is a god unlike any other. As the god of wisdom, she has profound insight into the nature of all things, yet she has never had the opportunity to learn by doing. One may ask, how can a god possess true wisdom in the absence of lived experience? All answers can be found in dreams, and she welcomes fellow truth seekers to dream along with her.
I've been waiting for you for ages.
Over her years of confinement, Lesser Lord Kusanali has grown intensely curious about the world outside. Just through observing from afar, Nahida has learned enough to adapt to any situation. Nahida's normal attack can perform up to 4 strikes that deal dendro damage.
That's very cute. It's like she's stepping on a giant
Her
keyboard.
charged attack consumes a set amount of stamina to deal AoE dendro damage in front of her after a short casting time. Tap Nahida's elemental skill to cast dendral bonds that deal AoE dendro damage. Of the enemy's hit, a certain number will be marked with the seed of Skanda.
Seed of Skanda.
Hold her elemental skill to enter aiming mode and target enemies within a certain range. Nahida benefits from increased resistance to interruption while in this mode. Aiming mode lasts for a limited duration, and only a limited number of enemies can be selected as targets. Release the skill button to deal dendro damage to all selected enemies and mark them with a Seed of Skanda. Enemies marked with a Seed of Skanda and in range of each other will form a connection. When an enemy marked with a Seed of Skanda triggers an elemental reaction or takes damage from dendro cores, Nahida unleashes Tri-Karma Purification, dealing dendro damage to them and all connected enemies based on Nahida's attack and elemental mastery. Tri-Karma Purification can only be triggered once per set interval. After unlocking the talent Awakening Elucidated, the crit rate and damage of Tri-Karma Purification will be increased based on the amount of Nahida's elemental mastery that exceeds a given value. Tri-Karma Purification's crit rate and damage can only be increased in this manner up to a certain amount. Nahida is always watching, listening, learning about the world around her. Nahida's elemental skill allows her to interact with certain harvestable items when they are in range. In some scenarios, it may also have other uses.
Whoa.
The Temple of Wisdom!
Illusory Heart.
When Nahida unleashes her elemental burst, she materializes the Court of Dreams and brings forth the Shrine of Maya. The shrine provides different effects depending on the elemental types of characters in the party, as follows. If the party contains a pyro character, the damage dealt by Tri-Karma Purification will be increased when Nahida is within the Shrine of Maya's AoE. If the party contains an electro character, the interval between each Tri-Karma Purification is decreased when Nahida is within the Shrine of Maya's AoE. If the party contains a hydro character, the Shrine of Maya's duration will be extended. When the Shrine of Maya is created, if the party contains at least 2 characters of the aforementioned elemental types, their corresponding effects will receive a further boost. So long as the active party member remains within the shrine, the effects described above can be triggered even if Nahida is
This
not
is a lot to keep up with. I'm already lost.
Nahida freely shares her knowledge with anyone who asks, but how much of it they can comprehend depends on their own aptitude. After unlocking the talent Compassion Illuminated, when Nahida casts her elemental burst, the elemental mastery of the active character within the Shrine of Maya will be increased based on the elemental mastery of whichever party members is highest. Elemental mastery can only be increased up to a certain amount in this manner. The God of Wisdom excels both at posing questions and answering them. Combat is no different. The enemy is the conundrum, and her strategy is the solution. In battle, Nahida first targets a group of enemies with her elemental skill, using Seeds of Skanda to connect them to each other.
Whoa!
Next, she coordinates
That's really
with her
cool.
teammates to trigger elemental reactions, repeatedly unleashing Tri-Karma Purifications as her main mode of attack. She and her team branch out across the battlefield, taking out the weeds as they go. When energy is full, Nahida unleashes her elemental burst, creating the Shrine of Maya to increase all active characters' elemental mastery and provide additional effects depending on the elemental composition of her party. Faced with Nahida's increased dendro damage and the strengthened team around her, all who enter the Temple of Wisdom seeking conflict will soon be reunited with their home turf. Humans often place gods on a pedestal, awestruck by their unfathomable power. Very few ever come to the realization that gods are not the rulers of Teyvat, but merely another form of living being in this world. A god who lacks strength may have little to no advantage, even over mere mortals. Even I have no spiteful words to say about a god such as this. I will leave her be. Perhaps the god of Dendro will continue to propagate herself for as long as Irminsul continues to exist. As for the significance of Irminsul to the whole of Teyvat, I will leave that for those who are not under this world's control to discover for themselves.
So Nahida is the god of Dendro. So she's the plant-based Pokemon god. Alright, let's keep plowing on because we got a lot of trailers to watch here today, lads. We have character teaser Wanderer Ashes.
Once more, I have lost my heart. It hurts. My skin feels like it's on fire. Burning me alive. Turning me to ash.
You mean, you wish you had a heart? Have you ever heard this story before? There once was a puppet soldier whose greatest wish was to be with the ballerina doll forever and ever. But the soldier didn't have a heart and didn't know where his feelings came from. One day, his owner didn't want him anymore and threw him away into a fire. But even in the flames, his eyes never left the ballerina.
That's really sad.
The people found a tiny heart in the ashes left by the fire.
No way.
Probably ashes in the shape of a heart. But that's not a real heart.
Maybe. But what if hearts can be born from ashes?
How dare you die like this? And break your promise to me. What a joke. It's just ashes. Nothing left but ashes.
These trailers are powerful.
If only I could have burned to death in that fire too. No. In fact, I wish I'd never been born at all. Never been born at all. Is that really all you wish for?
Trailers are getting to more of an emotional level, right? Wander is the name of that character. All right, so let's have a look at the character demo. Okay, this is different. Going to be old style film.
Hey, you there! We heard there's an inn near here. Gonna need you to show us the way. Huh? We won't ask twice.
Two big, strong Fatui, asking me to be their chaperone. Is this some kind of joke?
Think you're funny, do ya? You'll regret that!
Sure I will.
Oh, here we go. That transition, though. Oh! Oh my god. That slaps.
The wind rises.
He's so strong.
I look forward to that. Sadly, you won't be there to see it.
Oh! What? The? Oh! What was
Waste of
that?
Space. Just as useless alive or dead.
That was crazy.
You were looking for trouble. No one to blame but yourselves. Huh? We're done here. Next time you're looking for directions, I suggest you find your own way.
Okay, that kid's badass. Holy shit. Alright, so that was the Solitude past and present. Now we have the collected miscellany of the Wanderer. Any way the wind blows. Now we're actually going to see what this character can do in the game. They definitely made these collected miscellanies longer.
There once was a palace, and in that palace was a puppet, sound asleep. You know, I could just pretend that I don't remember what happened after that, and then make up
Kitty
some
cat!
boring story and get this over with. But boring clearly isn't my style, nor is it the Wanderer's way of doing things. You could say his story is simple and straightforward, or horrendously complex, and both would be right. It all depends on the storyteller.
Are you sure it has to be me? Fine. Let's get this over with.
If you happen to run into this Wanderer, don't let his menacing expression make you nervous. He's really not all that hard to get along with. You just need to keep your distance, that's all. Don't provoke him, and he won't kick up a storm. Simple, isn't it? He doesn't like to talk about it much, but the Wanderer has quite a lot of experience in forging weapons. So when the Wanderer ascends bows and catalysts, it doesn't cost him as much mora. The Wanderer's normal attack can combo up to 3 wind blades, dealing animo damage. His charged attack consumes some stamina and creates a high-pressure wind blast in front of him after a short casting time, dealing AoE animo damage. The Wanderer's elemental skill harnesses the power of the air all around as he casts off the shackles of gravity, dealing AoE animo damage and rising into the air as he enters the wind-favored state. In this state, the Wanderer is unable to use plunging attacks, and his normal and charged attacks are converted to Kugo Fushodan and Kugo Tofukai, which deal increased damage over a wider AoE. Using Kugo Tofukai will not consume stamina. The Wanderer hovers in midair while in this state, continuously consuming Kugo Ryoku points to remain airborne. When the sprint button is pressed, instead of sprinting, the Wanderer consumes more Kugo Ryoku points to fly through the air more quickly.
Like how far?
Holding sprint maintains a faster flying
Wow,
speed.
You can fly!
At a faster rate. Pressing jump raises
Doesn't
the
last too
Wanderer
long, though.
higher into the air at the cost of Kugo Ryoku points, and holding jump does so continuously. The wind-favored state
You can
ends.
fly!
Kugo Ryoku points are used up.
Wow.
The wind-favored state allows the Wanderer to do battle from midair, as well as explore difficult terrain more easily. Casting his elemental skill again while airborne brings the wind-favored state to an end. After unlocking the talent Jade Claimed Flower, if the Wanderer's elemental skill makes contact with Hydro, Pyro, Cryo, or Electro when cast, the wind-favored state provides different buffs depending on the element. Hydro increases the Wanderer's Kugo Ryoku point cap. Pyro increases the Wanderer's own attack. Cryo increases his crit rate.
Okay.
Electro causes him to regain some elemental energy when Kugo Fushodan and Kugo Tofukai deal damage to enemies. A limited quantity of energy can be regained per set time period, and a maximum of 2 buffs can be gained at any one time. The force of wind cannot always be seen, but it can certainly be felt. After unlocking the talent Gales of a Reverie, when Kugo Fushodan or Kugo Tofukai hits an enemy, the Wanderer has a chance to gain the Descent effect. The next time the Wanderer uses his alternate sprint to fly at speed, the Descent effect is consumed instead of Kugo Ryoku points, and several wind arrows are fired, each dealing animo damage. If If a Kugo Fushodan or Kugo Tofukai does not trigger the descent effect, the chance of triggering the effect next time is increased.
Know your place!
Casting the Wanderer's Elemental Burst compresses the surrounding air
Whoa.
to form an Animo Plenum that blasts all sources of frustration away.
That's cool.
Dealing multiple bouts of AoE Animo damage. Casting his Elemental Burst while in the wind-favored state brings this state to an end. Though Wanderer is his name, aimlessness is not his game, and he does not hesitate to take decisive action in pursuit of his goals. The Wanderer's elemental skill is his preferred means of doing battle. Once in the wind-favored state, he attacks from the air using his Kugo Fushodan and Kugo Tofukai to deal increased Animo damage with a wider AoE. By coordinating with his teammates, he can benefit from a range of enhancements, which make him even more powerful in battle. When energy is full, the Wanderer unleashes his Elemental Burst, dealing several rounds of AoE Animo damage in one fell swoop.
God, he's pretty OP,
devastating
right?
all obstacles that stand in his way. The world of Teyvat has its own rules. They aren't perfect, though, and in some cases they are as delicate
So
and
many
fragile as
areas
the
I've
human
never
heart.
seen before.
That's why I've been tasked with the job I have now, a job which gives me certain special privileges. I'm someone who likes having the freedom to live their own life, but I don't mind this job. It gives me the chance to see this world and everything that lives in it from a lot of different perspectives. People can find ways to forget, but they can't undo what they've done, and there's no escaping the past. The Wanderer learned this the hard way. But what about his future? Which way will the wind blow? A lot of people crave the power to predict the future, but I doubt the Wanderer cares for that. With a past like his, he knows the only way is forward, whatever lies ahead, for better or for worse.
Okay. The Wanderer is a pretty impressive character, and I can see a lot of people getting really good use of him. Let's move on to another character demo. This character is called Faruzan, Master of Ingenious Devices.
No sense of respect! Academic research isn't some kind of fad. Topics don't just go in and out of fashion. Madame Faruzan's life started more than 100 years ago, and her story covers as much ground as some major academic publications.
Like the
What
music.
is it that you would like to learn more about? Different forms of pressure-based puzzle mechanisms? The base layer design of elemental monuments?
Oh, do I hear a drop
Hang out
coming?
with you youngsters.
There it is. Cool.
Dare to mess with me? Truth repeats its course.
Oh! That's good.
What do you think? Got any interest in becoming my student? What did you say? Oh, I'm old now, so every other phrase escapes my ears. Try calling me Madame Faruzan.
Madame Faruzan. Cool. And now we have our collected miscellany.
In the academia's early years, researching ancient mechanisms meant deciphering numerous documents. So even though Faruzan is a Haravatat scholar, her mastery of runes led her to become one of the pioneer scholars in the field of ancient mechanics. But as the academic world progressed over the course of a century, Faruzan's dedication to this field was buried beneath the sands of time, just like her unusual fate.
I'll hang out with you youngsters.
Although she may look young, Faruzan is an experienced Haravatat scholar
that
and mentor
thinking
with
bubble?
a robust
What?
research background.
I like that.
Control over the power of Animo grants many new potential uses to her ancient trinkets.
Her ancient trinkets.
Researching mechanisms and solving puzzles
Is that a Saiyan
hands-on
pod?
process, and one which has taken Faruzan all across Sumeru. Faruzan gains increased rewards when dispatched on a 20-hour expedition within Sumeru. Faruzan's normal attack can combo up to 4 consecutive shots, dealing physical damage.
Okay.
With a charged attack, Faruzan executes a more precise aimed shot that deals increased damage. While aiming, mighty winds accumulate on the arrowhead, and a fully charged arrow will deal anemo damage.
Okay.
Casting Faruzan's elemental skill deploys a polyhedron device, dealing AoE anemo damage and causing her to enter the Manifest Gale state.
Manifest Gale.
In this state, Faruzan's next
Revali?
fully charged shot will consume the Manifest Gale and turn into a Hurricane Arrow.
A Hurricane Arrow. Ooh.
This arrow deals anemo damage based on the damage of her fully charged normal attack, Parthian Shot. The Hurricane Arrow will apply a pressurized collapse effect to the enemy or character hit. This effect will be removed after a short delay, creating a vortex that deals AoE anemo damage and pulls in nearby objects and enemies. If the arrow does not hit any enemy or character, it will create a pressurized collapse effect at its point of impact. The vortex damage is considered elemental skill damage.
Truth repeats its course.
Unleashing her elemental burst, Faruzan deploys a dazzling polyhedron that releases a whirlwind pulse and deals AoE anemo damage. While the dazzling polyhedron persists, it will continuously move along a triangular path. Whenever it reaches a corner of that triangular path, it unleashes a whirlwind pulse.
That's
the
cool.
whirlwind pulse will apply Prayerful Wind's benefit to all nearby party members, granting them an anemo damage bonus. When the pulse hits an enemy, it will apply Perfidious Wind's Bale to them, decreasing their anemo resistance. After unlocking the talent Impetuous Flow, when Faruzan is in the Manifest Gale state created by her elemental skill, the charging time of her aimed shot is decreased, and she can apply the Perfidious Wind's Bale effect to enemies hit by the vortex created by pressurized collapse. As a veteran of academia, Faruzan never hesitates to impart her wisdom to the future generations. After unlocking the talent Lost Wisdom of the Seven Caverns, when characters affected by Prayerful Wind's benefit
a giant
deal
chicken
anemo
mushroom?
damage to
What is
enemies
that?
with a normal, charged, or plunging attack, or an elemental skill or burst, they gain the Hurricane Guard effect, increasing the damage dealt by a certain percentage of Faruzan's base attack. Hurricane Guard can be triggered only once within a set duration, and the effect is cleared after anemo damage is dealt. Faruzan is unfazed by the fact that her field of research is now considered outdated. On the contrary, it has inspired new grit and determination. Faruzan starts battle by casting her elemental skill and quickly firing a Hurricane Arrow to deal anemo damage to the enemy. The arrow's pressurized collapse effect then pulls in nearby enemies, providing support to her teammates. When energy is full, Faruzan unleashes her elemental burst to deploy a dazzling polyhedron. This device moves over the battlefield, creating whirlwind pulses and decreasing enemies' anemo resistance, which effectively increases the team's anemo damage. Make the most of Faruzan's carefully researched dazzling polyhedron, and the rest of the battle will be a breeze.
Whoa, see him? He turned
Time
into
is a
sand.
relative concept and is perceived differently by different people. 100 years is the longest life most people could imagine. Small wonder that they are fascinated by the idea of someone disappearing for this long, only to return looking not a day older than when they left. To Faruzan, those 100 years were physically exhausting and mentally taxing, yet she balks at the idea of seeking sympathy or being the topic of other people's conversations. Only convincing the academia's new enrollees to address her as Madam gives her experience some meaning. But if you ask me, age isn't much of a qualification. After all, time never really stops flowing. And although ancient wisdom should be respected, how long would it really take to erase it all?
So Faruzan is like over 100-year-old? She looks great. Okay, so now we have the Game Awards 2022. Is it spicy? Deluxe! Hoyoverse, baby.
Wanna come over for tea?
If we've got nothing else to do, why don't I tell you a story?
There's no such thing as pure freedom in this world. Even the wind cannot blow on forever.
Those plants have withered. Paimon doesn't like the look of this.
Gotcha.
Whoa.
Here comes the catch. The wind rises. Bow your head.
What the hell? Oh, that's where it starts. Whoa, there's so much more to see. Genshin Impact! Oh. Okay. Story teaser! Akitsu Haneasobi. Beautifully animated story teaser?
It's said that long ago,
Yep.
a human samurai once stumbled across the Mikawa Flower Festival.
What's a human doing here? We erected the barrier, didn't we? What a pain.
Whoa, getting Studio Ghibli
The
vibes from
yokai at
this.
the festival began discussing how to drive away the human. When suddenly, they heard a voice.
This is our festival, and the point is to have fun. What difference does it make if a human joins us yokai?
The speaker appeared to be a prominent figure among the yokai, and when he spoke, the other yokai fell silent.
You there, young man, do you drink sake?
Yes, I do.
Ha! Then join us. We can enjoy tonight's festivities together.
And so, the yokai and samurai celebrated together. The two competed in the highlight of the festival, the Akitsu Haneasobi. Their spectacular game ended in a draw, and a new friendship was forged.
I can't believe a human could keep up with me.
Witnessing the dynamic powers of the yokai will certainly help hone my swordsmanship.
You're a swordsman?
Oh, yes. I'm currently traveling the world in search of formidable opponents.
Then let's make a deal. We meet for a duel every 10 years.
1 second.
What do you say?
Sorry about that. Phone call. Let's continue.
I look forward to it.
The samurai was about 25 years old when they met at the festival. They met again 10 years later and remained friends. They spent time together drinking, traveling, and sparring. When they had first met, they merely respected each other, but 10 years later, they became best friends.
Best friends.
After another decade, the samurai had reached the pinnacle of his swordsmanship and won their duel by a narrow margin. Kamai was so astonished by his defeat, he gave up drinking and began training to become stronger for their next duel.
No way.
However, another 10 years later, Kamai did not meet the samurai.
What?
As it turned out, war had broken out in the south, and the samurai had gone to defend the border. Kamai was unconcerned, because 10 years was nothing in a yokai's lifetime. But when they met once again, Kamai discovered that the samurai was already 65 years old.
65?
He couldn't believe his eyes when he saw the samurai's gray hair and scars covering his body.
Hey, old friend. Can you still wield the sword?
I'm getting too old to fight. This time, I've come to say goodbye.
Aww.
I see. Then, how about one last game of Akitsu Haneasobi?
All right.
The samurai gave his best effort during the game, but had to quit halfway through because he was too weak. After putting down his agoita, Kamai remained silent for a long time before letting out a long sigh.
What a shame.
Oh, that's sad because what was they called, the yokai or whatever? like 10 years is nothing to them. It probably only feels like, I don't know, like maybe a few days, couple of weeks. But to human beings, that's a long time, and a lot can change. Oh man, I really like that story. But he didn't seem to have too much like sympathy towards the samurai at the end. It was just kind of like, well, this isn't fun kind of a thing, like, you know. Now we're on the version 3.4 trailer, the Exquisite Night Chimes trailer.
Bidding farewell to the past and embracing the present with joy.
Liyue will be hosting a lantern
Liyue
festival this year. As a musician
Oh yeah,
myself,
I've never actually
how could I possibly resist the temptation to
took
come
part
take
in
a
any of
look?
the
If we
lantern
actually managed
festival
to make
things.
Iridescence for Lantern Rock Grand Concert a reality, you think I'd let anyone else perform the opening act?
A Lantern Rite Music Festival?
If the sound of music can flow like the rivers and streams, perhaps the souls of those who have gone before us will hear the song of a new era. I wondered whether the melodies will be to their liking.
You mean, what am I doing here? I did a performance for everyone.
Oh, that's the character they teased at the end of this Game Awards trailer.
You're up! Hey, go away!
Music is so good for these games, man. So good. Aww. That was cute.
From violating matters regarding human
over.
evolution to attempting the forbidden and fearing none, the 6 cardinal sins are the origin of all evil in this world.
Filthy outsider! Your coming was
What's going on?
foretold.
It's like a nightmare that I can't recall.
And the best guise is when you believe your own lies.
Alhaitham?
Flicker.
He's cool.
The process of elimination.
Drown in endless waves of monsters. You will all pay for your ceaseless arrogance.
What is that? Cool. All right, so we're going to get the character teaser for this guy.
The origins of writing are lost to time, and it is forbidden to investigate the genesis of language. But since their inception, these symbols have silently recorded everything. The skies, the stars, the mountains, and the birds. Conflict. Peace. And people from all walks of life. Words are strung together and edited, history made, and archived for posterity. The scribe records not only the truth, but the questions it leaves unanswered. Many of them will remain unanswered forever. The profoundest eternal questions are met only with a boundless and eternal silence.
That's so beautiful. Okay. Didn't really give away too much about his character. But the next trailer, the demo, I'm assuming will.
Where were we? Ah, yes. Alhaitham told you he's a feeble scholar,
Alhaitham.
did he? Well, that's a bold-faced lie.
Told you.
So his false modesty was just a facade to hide his true abilities?
Absolutely. He doesn't want others knowing his true strength.
Well, how strong is he? Stronger than you?
Of course not.
You know, I actually ran into him last week while I was in the desert looking for creative inspiration. If he was going out there to study ancient runes anyway, why didn't he travel with me? We could have split the cost.
All right. That look back though. I like the music.
Flicker.
Frankly, however strong he is or isn't, you just don't want to mess with him.
I thought you'd have learned to think before you speak by now.
We didn't say anything bad. All positive, actually.
Surely you didn't drag me out just to play cards.
We didn't get that far yet. We were just debating how good you'd be in a fight.
You keep your cards close to your chest.
Not at all.
So you don't fight much?
Yeah, right. With his temper?
I don't need to fight. I only need to think.
Brain power.
Everything is connected. All I have to do is find the weakest link, deal with the causal factors, and everything else tends to resolve itself.
The process of elimination.
Whoa, what is that? I like the music too.
Essentially, more time on contemplation, less time on execution. Simple, isn't it?
Not really.
Ugh, I knew we shouldn't have brought this up with you.
I thought my answer was quite engrossing. Boss, this is good wine. I'll have the same, please.
Okay, yeah, interesting character. I like him. We'll see his collective miscellany now. There's so many characters to choose from in Genshin Impact. You just don't know where to begin.
Can be the easiest person in the academia to communicate with, or the most frustrating. He ignores the irrelevant and filters out the fluff, focusing solely on the logical steps and appropriate process for the task ahead. For his more pragmatic colleagues, this makes him a joy to work with, though not everyone shares their enthusiasm.
Let's get down to business.
Most scholars would jump at the opportunity to use a vision to further their research, and I thought Alhaitham would be no exception. Yet to my surprise, he prefers to use his elemental powers not for research, but to deal with other issues that arise in life. Thinking a step ahead of everyone else is bound to reap benefits. When Alhaitham crafts weapon ascension materials, he has a chance to receive double the product, boosting the party's adventure readiness.
Oh,
Alhaitham's normal attack can combo up to 5 strikes with his sword, dealing physical damage. Using his charged attack, Alhaitham consumes a certain amount of stamina and performs 2 swift slashes to his front, dealing physical damage. Tap Alhaitham's elemental skill to rush forward, dealing dendro damage to nearby enemies when the rush ends, as well as creating a chisel-like mirror. Holding the skill enters aiming mode to adjust the direction of the attack. When this skill is cast, Alhaitham generates 1 chisel-like mirror, plus 1 additional mirror if he possessed no mirrors at the time of casting.
That's handy for collecting things.
Up to 3 chisel-like mirrors can exist at one time. While he possesses chisel-like mirrors, Alhaitham's normal, charged, and plunging attacks will be converted to dendro damage that cannot be overridden. When one of these attacks hits an enemy, the chisel-light mirrors unleash a projection attack that deals AoE dendro damage based on the number of mirrors on the field. Chisel-light mirrors will disappear in turn over time, and will all disappear when Alhaitham leaves the field. After unlocking the talent For Causal Correction, when Alhaitham's charged and plunging attacks hit enemies, they will generate 1 chisel-light mirror, This effect can only occur once in a specified period.
A process of elimination.
This thing.
Alhaitham's
ultimate.
elemental burst creates a particular binding field that
Whoa.
deals multiple instances of AoE dendro damage. If any chisel light mirrors exist when this ability is used, they are all consumed to increase the number of damage instances dealt.
That's awesome.
Shortly after this ability has finished, if no mirrors were consumed, then Alhaitham will generate 3 new mirrors. For every mirror that was consumed by this skill, Alhaitham will generate 1 less new mirror accordingly. When surrounded by mirrors, it takes a perceptive eye to distinguish reality from reflection. After unlocking the talent Mysteries Laid Bare, each point of elemental mastery that Alhaitham possesses increases the damage dealt by his projection attacks and elemental burst. Damage can only be increased in this way up to a certain limit. To Alhaitham, remaining rational under pressure is the key to solving difficult problems. Luckily for him, this is an ability that few of his foes possess. Alhaitham's combat strategy is centered around the efficient use of his chisel light mirrors. His elemental skill allows him to quickly traverse the battlefield, while dealing dendro damage to enemies and generating chisel light mirrors. Then Alhaitham can use these mirrors and their projection attacks to easily gain the upper hand. When energy is full, Alhaitham unleashes his elemental burst, creating the particular binding field and dealing several bouts of AoE dendro damage. If he possesses no Chiselite mirrors at this time, some are generated after he has used his burst, allowing him to follow up with more attacks. If he already has mirrors when he casts his burst, then he is able to deal more dendro damage and swiftly seize victory. A comfortable life looks much the same for everyone, but the people who lead those lives may be nothing alike at all. A sharp mind and a good attitude have benefited Alhaitham immensely in his pursuit of the good life. It is not my place to judge how other people live. If anything, the more I say, the more jealous I would sound. The truth is, I have nothing against a laid-back lifestyle. It reminds me of a simpler time. But unfortunately, not all creatures are capable of being rational and logical in everything they do. Alhaitham's approach only works in the context of his relatively simple existence, and that is completely fine by him.
Alhaitham. Love him or hate him. You see what I... It was a joke, alright?
You are a loser.
Okay, so his character was... I found it okay. I don't know, there's something about it, I found it a little bit bland. I don't know. Not, like, too sold on his character. Now we have Endless Suffering.
Evil takes on many forms, but always carries a karmic curse.
Oh yeah, I know this character.
Monsters that lurk in the
Forgot his
mountains
name.
where the Adepti dwell, preying on the living for decades. It manifests as devastating pestilences, scarring the world for centuries. It is the sworn duty of the Yaksha to purge all evil. But after millennia of bloodshed, karma takes a toll. A moment of complacency, and I too will succumb to the darkness. An instant of negligence, and it will turn me into one of the monsters I swore to purge. After millennia of suffering and endless slaughter, I now see things for what they really are.
You slept the whole day through, you know. Good thing you're awake.
You're just in time for the lantern rite.
I carried you here on my back.
Oh, I remember her.
I'll go get you some medicine now.
He's gone. Where'd he go?
Did I scare you? Don't worry, this mask is to scare away monsters. It really works. You don't need to be afraid. Huh? Are you okay? You look tired. Grandpa, give him some rice wine pudding.
Well, hello there. Care to join me for a drink on this fine evening? Huh? Oh, you started celebrating already. Any rice wine for me?
Sorry. Tonight. I just want to rest.
Very nice. It's good to take the mask off once in a while. Even just for one night.
I found that to be an interesting trailer to add into where we are now with the trailers. They must be doing a lot more with that character in the story. Alright, so next up is a character demo for this character that they teased in the Game Awards trailer. Yaoyao, Purity of the Blossoming Osmanthus. What?
Don't put off until tomorrow what you can do today. Come on, let's get a move on. Oh, spear training is really kind of boring. Maybe I'll go play with Uruguay for a little bit, then come back and do some more training after I've had a break. I grew up in the mountains. Auntie Cloud Retainer, Uncle Mountain Shaper. There are adepti everywhere in Liyue. I've met
Liyue.
If you encounter any difficulties outdoors, then let me help you.
She's got a little spear, that's cute.
Uruguay, you're up.
She's got a plushie companion.
Ready, go! Why do so many people make such a big deal out of seeking the adepti? There's adepti everywhere, isn't there?
Okay. Alright, so now this is the collected miscellany of Yaoyao.
Yaoyao is the youngest of Streetward
I got her
Ramblers'
name
disciples.
right. Brilliant.
Liyue's adepti are a strange group.
Oh.
You'll never see most of them setting foot anywhere near
I need to
the
make a
city.
coffee.
And yet the instant they find a human whom they take a liking to, they'll come flocking in, teaching Adeptus arts one day and lavishing them with gifts the next. One of these favored few is Yaoyao, a young and enthusiastic disciple who is thriving under their care.
I'll take good care of everyone.
She has Dendro
Yaoyao's
as well.
young age posed no obstacle to her making contact with the Adepti. In fact, they were thoroughly won over by the young child's inquisitive nature. One Adeptus in particular was especially delighted when she saw how Yaoyao used an Adeptus contraption, Uegui, in conjunction with the power of her Dendrovision. Even though the sound of bells follows Yaoyao wherever she goes, the wildlife is never disturbed by her presence. When Yaoyao is in the party, your characters will not startle crystal flies, lizards, and certain other animals when approaching them. Yaoyao's normal attack can combo up to 4 strikes with her polearm, dealing physical damage. Using her charged attack, Yaoyao consumes a certain amount of stamina to lunge forward, dealing physical damage to enemies along the way. Tapping her elemental skill summons the Adeptus contraption Uegui throwing mode to assist Yaoyao in
Uegui
combat.
throwing mode.
Hold the skill to enter aiming mode and control Yaoyao's throwing direction. Yuegwe throwing mode throws out white jade radishes that will explode upon hitting characters or enemies, dealing dendro damage to enemies within a certain AoE, and healing characters within that same AoE based on Yaoyao's max HP.
Cool.
If a
So
radish
she's a
does not
healer
hit
as well.
either an enemy or a character, it will remain where it landed and explode on contact with a character or enemy, or after its duration expires. Yuegwe throwing mode will select the target for the white jade radish depending on the surrounding combat situation. If nearby characters have relatively high HP, it will target an enemy. If there are any nearby characters whose HP has dropped below a certain percentage, it will target the character with the lowest HP percentage. And if no enemies are nearby, it will target a character even if their HP is relatively high. A maximum of 2 instances of Yuegwe throwing mode can exist at any one time. After unlocking the talent In Others' Shoes, when a white jade radish explodes, active characters within its AoE will regain HP at set intervals, based on Yaoyao's max HP. This effect lasts for a limited duration.
Go get him, Yuegwe!
Per the instructions of a certain Adeptus, Yaoyao casts her elemental burst in emergencies to unleash Yuegwe's full
there's
potential,
3 of them.
dealing dendro damage to nearby enemies and entering the Adepta Legacy state. In this state, the white jade radish's healing and damage effects are modified to their elemental burst variants. Exploding radishes now heal all nearby party members, and the dendro damage that they deal is treated as elemental burst damage. Yaoyao's movement speed and dendro resistance are increased while in the Adepta Legacy state. Also, Yaoyao will summon Yuegwe jumping mode at intervals until the maximum of 3 instances has been reached. Jumping mode Yuegwe behaves in the same way as the throwing mode Yuegwe produced by Yaoyao's elemental skill. The Adepta Legacy state will end when Yaoyao leaves the field, and all instances of Yuegwe jumping mode will be cleared when the state ends. In the eyes of a child, stars shining in the night may seem like little white fruits scattered across the sky. After unlocking the talent Star Scatter, when Yaoyao is running, sprinting, or jumping in the Adepta Legacy state, she will constantly throw white jade radishes at nearby enemies. Only 1 white jade radish can be produced in this way within a set duration. Radishes may not be a miracle cure, but they are always a healthy option.
I love that they're just radishes.
I'm no expert, but Yaoyao will assure you that this is the case. In battle, Yuegwe is Yaoyao's trusty helper, providing flexible support to the team depending on the situation. Yaoyao's elemental skill summons Yuegwe throwing mode to heal her teammates or assist them on the offensive as necessary. When energy is full, Yaoyao unleashes Yuegwe's full potential, dealing dendro damage to enemies and entering the Adepta Legacy state. In this state, Yaoyao summons Yuegwe jumping mode, generating more white jade radishes to help get her teammates out of a tight spot.
Nice.
I am a self-confessed pessimist and refuse to believe that all children have hearts of gold. But Yaoyao certainly turned out well. Pure, innocent, and compassionate, she never fails to extend a helping hand to anyone in need. Fortunately for her, helping those around her is well within her abilities. She hasn't experienced many setbacks in her life so far, and given her positive attitude and the care and support from her Adepti guardians, it is unlikely that any setback could ever pull her down. Humans may have their weaknesses, but that doesn't mean that they are easily broken.
Oh, cute character. Interesting character. Right, so our next on our list, we're actually on to the 19th trailer of this part of the video. This is Echoes of the Heart. But before I do, I need to get a coffee because I'm starting to doze off. Not because of the trailers, because of lack of sleep. I'll be back. Alright. I got myself a coffee. Lads. It's all good. It's all good. Story teaser, Echoes of the Heart. Here we go.
In times gone by, one quarreled oft with Gui Zhang concerning mechanical principles. We each had our ideals, and neither would yield. Under the pretext of a social gathering, one invited the impartial Rex Lapis to judge the quality of our creations. But Rex Lapis declared that Guizhong's Obscuro Vulpus mechanism was superior. Though one was too proud to acknowledge it, in one's heart, one knew that Guizhong was indeed the superior talent in the mechanical arts. As for the story between Guizhong and Streetward Rambler, that begins with a certain bell. In Guizhong's opinion, while mechanisms were no substitute for human composers, they were yet capable of producing simple but fine melodies. But Streetward Rambler believed music to be an expression of the soul, an emotional enterprise that could never hope to be replicated by machinery. They argued endlessly, until one asked Rex Lapis to intercede. He confiscated the bell and designated it for ceremonial use. Thereafter, one would often find them convening in the mountains, discussing music, mechanics, and all the affairs of the mortal world. But these good times were not to last. War broke out between the gods, and soon engulfed the Guili Plains. Guizhong was overpowered by the enemy, and fell in battle. When Streetwood Rambler and I arrived at the scene at long last, all that remained among the ruins was her lifeless body. After this, at Streetwood Rambler's request, Rex Lapis granted her the cleansing bell for safekeeping. To honor our friend's memory, one made a few finishing touches to her ballistic device. Many lantern rites have passed since then. Many greetings and goodbyes. Upon what do you gaze? The Guili Plains?
No. It's everything. We think of human life as like a lantern that's lit one minute and extinguished the next. But are we Adepti so different? Perhaps as dust settles after a storm, we too must one day return to the world below.
Man, that was a nice trailer, wasn't it? Lantern Rite promotional video, Dream Upon a Lantern. Definitely need to check out one of these Lantern Rite festival thingies when they're happening. They look real pretty. Oh, it's anime! Genshin Impact. Yeah, they look super chill. I definitely need to check out one of those things. Right, version 3.5, baby. Wind Bloom's Breath. Let's have a sniff of that breath, yeah? 349, okay.
Oh, dear creature.
What?
Why do you bow down? For fear of the unknown? Or for a power that you covet?
I've
never seen anything like this in all my life. What in the world does this place conceal?
You have a troubled look on your face. What happened?
I
Whoa.
can't take it.
I think that he might have seen you.
Fate
Who?
has not granted you the right to enter this place.
The greatest should never live to remember their fall.
Let's get it on.
Oh, yeah! Let's see more of her! Dehya! Oh!
You're dead meat.
Heavy metal, baby! She punches! I need to see more of that character.
Or intel on the enemy.
Mika.
Precision strike. Let's keep going, team.
Amber. Aw. So nice to see the original characters.
That's Kale, right?
Why is this humble windmill such a great view?
I mean, it's understandable. It must have been a long time since you last came to Mondstadt.
Because it is the true Great Vayu Viastra?
That's it. Think you've ruined Sumeru's reputation in Mondstadt beyond all hope of repair.
Right. Need to see more of that other character. Oh, it's not over. There's more. Hang on. Oh. Like I said, not going to watch any of that stuff. No need. So... Yes!
Can the wall really keep the sandstorms out?
She never meant for it to keep anything out.
Don't you think Sumeru City's a bit far, Dehya? She'll get homesick.
Oh my god, she's so hot. I mean, she's very pretty. She's a very pretty looking fictional character. Not real.
Can't you let us in?
No, entry's prohibited. But the sandstorm is raging, and we have a child with us. You hard of hearing, no means no.
Come on. This way, quick. Easy now. Watch your step.
Oh my god, dude. Look at her sword. She is definitely getting in the thumbnail.
Don't worry. If they do find you, I'll handle it. Relax. Just trust the Dendro Archon.
Oh, her
Things are
hair's
different now.
cool. Oh my god. Everything
Whatever
about
you
her is
say.
awesome.
But what are you planning with all that Mora? Isn't that like your whole life savings?
You'll see when we get there.
All right, we'll take good care of the girl. Your generous donation will be used to provide for the desert orphans. I'll need a name for the fund.
How about the Wall of Hope? That wall was never meant for keeping things out. It was for protection. I hope the kids can forget about all the sandstorms and have a chance at a real life.
Okay, so didn't see much about her, but she's a kind-hearted soul. Oh my god, this character then was called Dehya, Fiery Lioness. I'm personally a Leo, you know, that's my star sign. So she's kind of like suited for me. You can't have her!
Every merc knows the rules. You don't steal food from a wolf's jaws. Time for talk's over.
Boring conversation anyway.
Oh! Oh my god! I have to have her.
I've warned you before.
I have
Keep
to
your
have
hands
her.
off Aru Village.
I have to.
The green-eyed wolf answers to no one.
Oh my god.
Listen, I want to help you, but first you gotta back down.
Time for talks over.
Boring conversation anyway.
No, no, there's no debating about it. There's no there's no way I'm not going to have her.
He's a guest, Candace. We were just sparring.
Is that right? I do apologize. Please come with me.
Candace is in a good mood. You're off the hook. Remember what I told you. Final warning.
Even a wolf had better avoid lions and hunters.
Take them all! In all seriousness, though, I genuinely think that is the greatest and best looking character design that the Hoyoverse have come up with for Genshin Impact. I'm saying that because it's fact. They had no right to go that hard on a character. She looks so cool. Oh my god, and now we're going to see her collected miscellany. Oh my, I want my entire team to have her aesthetic.
Anyone who wanders the world will tell you that there's nothing like a dependable travel companion to make the journey easier and safer. Especially if it's someone like Dehya, a mercenary from Sumeru. Though she may see herself as just one among many.
Look at her! She's perfect!
Her sharp mind, bravery, and honesty are rare qualities that truly make her a rose among thorns.
She is literally perfect.
Got a job for me?
Raised among mercenaries, Dehya has a wealth of experience under her belt and outstanding combat capabilities. She effortlessly combines swordsmanship, hand-to-hand combat, and the power of her pyrovision in battle, as she skillfully completes an eclectic range of jobs while keeping her client protected. By choosing the right moment to act, risks can be avoided and tasks completed more efficiently. Placing Dehya in your party increases the movement speed of your own party members between the daytime hours of 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
That's very
this
specific.
This does not take effect in domains, trounce domains, or the Spiral Abyss. Dehya's normal attack uses both her claymore and her fists to combo up to
She's like
4
a
strikes
strength
that
build
deal
as well.
physical damage to enemies.
She is so perfect.
Using her charged attack, Dehya drains stamina over time to perform
Oh
continuous
my
rapid
god.
slashes, finishing with an
Look at that
especially
great
powerful
sword.
slash. Dehya's elemental skill has different effects depending on the
Molten
present combat
Inferno.
situation. When there is no fiery sanctum field created by Dehya herself currently present in combat, her elemental skill will cast Indomitable Flame, dealing AoE pyro damage and creating a fiery sanctum field. If a fiery sanctum field created by Dehya is currently present in combat, her elemental skill will unleash Ranging Flame, which performs a leaping attack that deals AoE pyro damage before recreating the fiery sanctum field at her new position. A field created in this way.
Oh,
will
teaming
inherit
up
the
with
remaining
Diluc as
duration of the
well.
previous
That is
field.
so perfect.
Ranging Flame can be used only once within a single fiery sanctum field's duration. When an enemy within a fiery sanctum field takes damage, the field will unleash a coordinated attack, dealing AoE pyro damage to them based on Dehya's attack and max HP. This effect can be triggered once per set time period. Active characters within the fiery sanctum field gain increased resistance to interruption. When characters in the field take damage, a portion of that damage will be redirected into Redmane's blood. Dehya will then take this damage after a time. When the redirected damage stored by Redmane's blood reaches or exceeds a certain percentage of Dehya's max HP, no further damage will be redirected. Only one Fiery Sanctum, created by Dehya herself, can exist at a time. After unlocking the talent Stalwart and True, when her HP falls below a certain amount, Dehya recovers a percentage of her max HP, then continues to recover a portion of max HP at regular intervals for a set duration. This effect can be triggered once per set time period.
You're dead meat!
Oh, here we go. I want to see this attack. Let's go. That combo.
When Dehya casts her elemental burst, she unleashes her burning rage, casts her unwieldy blade aside, and enters the blazing lioness state, increasing her resistance to interruption. In this state, Dehya automatically unleashes a series of Flame Mane's fists, dealing pyro damage. When the duration ends, she executes an incineration drive.
Oh my god. Every other character that came before this is meaningless to me now. She is the one.
Based on Dehya's attack and max HP.
She is the one.
While in this state, Dehya will be unable to use her elemental skill or perform normal, charged, or plunging attacks. Her normal attack and elemental skill will be replaced by Roaring Barrage. Using Roaring Barrage shortly after each Flame Mane's fist will increase the attack speed of the next Flame Mane's fist. If a Fiery Sanctum field created by Dehya's own elemental skill exists when she unleashes her elemental burst, Dehya will retrieve it, then recreate the field once Blazing Lioness's duration expires. The recreated field will inherit the remaining duration of the retrieved field. After unlocking the talent Unstinting Succour, for a short period after Dehya retrieves a Fiery Sanctum field using Molten Inferno Ranging Flame or Leonine Bite, she will take decreased damage when absorbing damage from Redmane's blood. This effect can be triggered once per set time period. Additionally, for a short period after Dehya unleashes Molten Inferno Indomitable Flame, she will grant all party members the Gold Forged Form state. This state will further increase characters' resistance to interruption when they are within a Fiery Sanctum field. This state can be triggered once per set time period. Although her reputation as the Flame Mane has spread far and
the
wide,
Flame Mane.
Dehya has never aspired to fame. Rather, her focus is on consistently completing each job entrusted to her and on protecting those around her. Dehya's combat strategy is centered around her elemental skill. She starts by using it to create a Fiery Sanctum, which assists teammates in combat by redirecting damage away from them and providing coordinated attacks. At an opportune moment, she uses Ranging Flame to deal another bout of AoE pyro damage to enemies. When energy is full, Dehya unleashes her elemental burst and enters the Blazing Lioness state. In this state, she uses Roaring Barrage to increase the attack speed of Flame Mane's fist.
Oh my god, it's so good.
With an incineration drive.
So
overpowering
cool!
her foes with her flaming lioness claws. Collecting payments and completing commissions is a mercenary's bread and butter, but the commissions undertaken by mercenaries differ from those handled by adventurers. Mercenary commissions are more commercial in nature, and the tasks involved are more varied. Many criminals, heroes, and other larger-than-life figures emerge from this trade as the euphoria of strength and success goes to their heads. But not so with Dehya, who knows that delusions of grandeur only make surviving in the treacherous mercenary world all the more difficult. As someone who began life in the desert, Dehya has been confronted with issues of belief and forced to make difficult decisions on many occasions. She may wear a stern gaze, but she treats others with fairness and generosity. I would even say that she, of all mercenaries, is a pioneer of living a genuine life, attuned to the realities of the world around her.
Dehya. Dehya, Dehya, Dehya. Where have you been all my life? Oh, you're still here. Sorry. Anyway, moving on. We have a story teaser. The Mage's Tea Party.
Ever heard of the Hexenzirkel? As the spooky name suggests, it's a secret society. Once upon a time, it even challenged the Animo Archon himself. But he replied, "Let us make music, not war, and resolve our conflicts through song." From then on, the mages would only ever convene in the woods, in the skies, or on the edges of cliffs. At these tea parties, they discussed their stories and secrets and resolved their differences.
It's like
as the
Alice in
tea and
Wonderland
cakes bore
vibes.
witness to their pledge never to fight amongst themselves.
Yesterday, I snuffed out the life of my beloved. He had grown old and was extremely sick. He loved me dearly, so I took his fate in my hands and ended his pain.
I'm raising a son. Of all the children I had, he's the only one left. But I suppose that still makes me a mother.
My lifespan is nothing compared to yours, so I wish to leave you with my storybook. Actually, maybe you can pass it on to your children one day.
Oh, this looks interesting. Let me scry.
My dear sisters, we mustn't let prophecies threaten our bonds of friendship. Even the most frightening witch was once a little girl, and growing up can be so tough. Sometimes we all need to vent our troubles to the wind. Even if the nations go to war, or the sky falls down, the mages' tea parties shall forever be held around this table.
Didn't really understand that, but okay. Now we have a character demo for Mika, Plume of Navigation.
Ever since I was a kid, I've wanted to become a cartographer and map out every corner of Teyvat. It's only later on that I discovered the Knights of Favonius actually have that kind of role. Oh, Klee? She's super cheerful. Although I've had to revise my maps on several occasions due to her experiments with dangerous weapons. Mika, Frontline Land Surveyor, Knights of Favonius Reconnaissance Company, reporting in.
I like his music.
Final warning. Let's keep going, team. The rain is really coming down. I hope it won't get too muddy out here, or I'll need to help everyone clean their boots.
Okay. I like his vibe. Now we have Mika's Collective Miscellany.
It was good news for the Knights of Favonius when frontline surveyor Mika returned from the expedition. Not only did he come bearing news of his team's well-being, but his presence brings everyone a general sense of security. After all, it's always good to have an efficient mapmaker on hand, just in case a certain someone blows another mountaintop or ancient ruin into oblivion.
All right. Everything's ready.
As the reconnaissance company's
Timmy!
frontline surveyor,
It's little
Mika's
Timmy!
primary duties are
He's still
pathfinding
standing
and
there,
surveying, and he also
waiting
has
for
a hand
Papa
in
to come home.
logistics. A keen observer and a cautious operator, Mika keeps one eye on the enemy's weak points and the other on his teammates' health during battle. By marking useful resources on a map, a platoon can be ready to resupply at any time. When Mika is in the party, the location of items unique to Mondstadt will appear on your minimap, making it easier to gather resources. Mika's normal attack can combo up to 5 strikes, alternating between the
that,
crossbow
gun? Does he
and
have a-
polearm, dealing physical
crossbow.
damage.
It was so
Using
fast, I
his
didn't see
charged
it.
attack, Mika consumes a certain amount of stamina to
Whoa.
lunge forward, dealing physical damage to enemies along the way. Tap Mika's elemental skill to fire a Flow Frost arrow, which pierces through opponents and deals cryo damage to enemies it hits. Hold the elemental skill button and Mika takes aim at an enemy, then fires a Rime Star flare at them, dealing cryo damage. After impact, the Rime Star flare will rise, explode, then fire Rime Star shards at a maximum of 3 other enemies, dealing cryo damage. Additionally, Mika's elemental skill grants the Soul Wind status to nearby party members. Active party members with the Soul Wind status benefit from increased attack speed.
Let's keep going, team!
Mika's elemental burst draws courage from the Knights of Favonius' prayers to spur on his teammates, restoring health to all nearby party members based on his max HP, and granting them the Eagle Plume status. When an active character with the Eagle Plume status strikes an enemy with a normal attack, Mika heals them by an amount based on his max HP. Characters can only be healed in this manner once per set time period. Having a clear lay of the land confers a huge advantage for comrades in battle. After unlocking the talent Suppressive Barrage, the Soul Wind status from Mika's elemental skill has a chance to grant the Detector buff, which increases physical damage dealt by the active character. When Mika's Flow Frost arrow hits more than one enemy, 1 stack of detection is gained per additional enemy hit. A detection stack is also gained when a Rhyme Star shard hits an enemy. Only 1 stack can be gained per shard. Soul Wind's Detector buff has a maximum of 3 stacks. If Mika's elemental skill is used again while Soul Wind and Detector are still active, these effects are cleared. After unlocking the talent Topographical Mapping, an active character under the effects of both the Eagle Plume and Soul Wind statuses will gain 1 stack of Detector upon landing a crit hit on an enemy. Only 1 Detector stack can be gained in this way during a single instance of Soul Wind. Additionally,
oh, I forgot Razor could do that.
Soul Wind's detection stacks is increased by 1. Mika's near constant experience in live combat has molded him into someone his team can depend on. In battle, Mika uses his elemental skill to unleash either a Flow Frost arrow or Rhyme Star flare, dealing cryo damage to enemies and providing the Soul Wind status to teammates. Once active, Soul Wind's Detector buff helps his teammates to rise to the challenges of the battlefield. When energy is full, Mika unleashes his elemental burst to provide an extra level of support to all his nearby teammates, restoring their HP while also granting them the Eagle Plume status. By healing his teammates via Eagle Plume as they dish out their normal attacks, Mika ensures that they complete their mission and are patched up and ready for the next. To stay on course, one must have a clear view of the way ahead. This may sound trivial, yet how many walk blindly down their paths? Mika may not excel at speaking, but nothing escapes his sights. As he matures and grows in resolve, he will develop great potential to lead others. Still, despite his remarkable talent, Mika could find his ability to command the respect of others undermined by his lack of self-confidence. But who knows what the future will bring? Maybe there really will come a day when Mika finally musters the courage to refuse the menial tasks that Varka habitually foists off onto him.
He's too soft. Man, I don't think there is going to be any characters that are going to come close to Dehya, man. She was just way too awesome. Alright, so next up is a character teaser for a character named Baizhu, an elusive curative. Genshin, they just don't stop, do they? They just don't stop. Just character, 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 character. To the point where, how do you decide anymore which ones you want?
10 parts of violet grass and 3 of starconch shells. Mash them together with some fresh glaze lilies, filter with gauze, and consume the resulting herbal brew. Oh? Does something about this prescription displease you?
Oh, not at all. I have complete confidence in your prescriptions. They work every time. It's just that this prescription is for a pair of siblings based in Mondstadt.
Mondstadt? Then these ingredients will not be easy to procure.
Most of them are fine. It's just the glaze lilies. They don't come cheap, especially not fresh ones. Poor Anthony will have to work a lot of extra hours to afford this.
This new prescription, though not as fast-acting, will allow gradual recovery and buildup of strength, making it well-suited to someone who's been suffering from a long illness. The needed ingredients can also be found around Mondstadt.
Oh.
Wait. Dendro-processed berries?
Strange afflictions require stranger remedies, no? I have another backup solution. You'll need to boil some frog skins and lizard tails before adding a few drops of Changshang's venom.
This one will be fine.
So he's a doctor. I'm intrigued. And he seems really nice.
Wait a minute. A few drips of what from whom?
Oh, so that's who he was talking about. Yeah, he was there in that one trailer that we watched. Dehya is still the best character though, but I'm interested. Let's have a look at his character demo. Oh! Nice! You see that?
It seems this elixir
Finger
has
power.
attracted some difficult customers.
Belligerence and avarice. For these vices, I'm afraid I can offer no cure.
A good beating ought to do it.
No, that's chill music right there. Oh, you can fire the snake at you.
As flowers wither, so does life fade. There's no escaping it.
Hand over the elixir, or you die tonight!
My mortality is no one's concern but mine. Remember, health comes first.
Oh! That's kicked in. Yeah.
Taking a turn for the better.
Oosha! He's cool. I like him.
Dr. Baizhu, the dew. Here you go.
This remedy is powerful, yet painstaking to concoct. Ineffective without moonlight dew as a potentiator, but just a drop will cure Gui's cold in no time.
Cold medicine? You came all the way out here for cold medicine?
You didn't check before seeking to steal it? I have serious concerns for your cognitive health.
The first round of treatment has clearly failed. Let's try a stronger dose.
No, please, no.
Oh, Jesus Christ, what's he gonna do? Beat the shit out of him while he's down on the ground? Let's have a look at the collected miscellany.
It's said that chronic illness makes a medical expert out of the patient. This would seem to ring true for Baizhu, a skilled doctor of weak constitution. But delve a little deeper and one is left questioning the true relationship between Dr. Baizhu's ailments and expertise.
Time for a house call.
Dr. Baizhu. I like saying that word.
To heal the sick is a doctor's lifelong calling. Baizhu constantly monitors the well-being of those around him, treating ailments when the earliest symptoms arise. His dendro vision enables him to protect his teammates and provide a range of treatments to suit any scenario. Baizhu's familiarity with the medicinal effects of common herbs is useful knowledge during medical emergencies in the wild. When Baizhu is in the party, interacting with certain harvestable items will heal the active character, meaning more time spent adventuring and less spent recovering. Baizhu's normal attack can perform up to 4 frontal strikes that deal dendro damage. His charged attack consumes a set amount of stamina to deal AoE dendro damage in front of him after a short casting time. Upon casting his elemental skill, Baizhu sends a gossamer sprite to cruise and attack nearby enemies, dealing dendro damage. After it performs a certain number of attacks, or if there are no enemies nearby, the sprite will return. Upon its return, the sprite heals all nearby party members based on Baizhu's max HP. After unlocking the talent 5 Fortunes Forever, Baizhu's abilities are enhanced in different ways depending on the active character's current HP. If their HP is less than a certain percentage, Baizhu's healing bonus is increased. If their HP is equal to or more than a certain percentage, Baizhu's dendro damage bonus is increased.
Okay.
Taking a turn for the better.
When Baizhu casts his elemental burst, he enters the pulsing clarity state, creating a seamless shield that absorbs dendro damage with increased effectiveness. While the pulsing clarity state is active, a new seamless shield is generated at regular intervals. While a character is under the protection of seamless shield, whenever the shield regenerates, expires, or is destroyed, the active character is healed based on Baizhu's max HP. At the same time, spirit veins are unleashed, which attack enemies, dealing dendro damage. Medicine is a vast and complex discipline whose methods range from the strictly therapeutic to the thoroughly transformative. After unlocking the talent All Things Are of the Earth, when a character is healed by Baizhu's Seamless Shield, they will gain the Year of Verdant Favor effect, which increases damage dealt by burning, bloom, hyperbloom, burgeon, spread, and aggravate reactions triggered by that character. The size of the damage boost depends on the elemental reaction, and scales off of Baizhu's max HP up to a certain limit. This effect lasts for a limited duration. Baizhu avoids life and death battles like the plague, and does his utmost to stop comrades from becoming casualties. In battle, Baizhu casts his elemental skill, sending out a gossamer sprite to deal dendro damage to enemies, and heal all nearby party members upon its return. When energy is full, Baizhu enters the pulsing clarity state by providing protection and healing for his teammates with his seamless shield, and also unleashing spirit veins to deal dendro damage to enemies. Baizhu gives his team healthy odds of finishing the battle in one piece.
Nice.
Humans typically live short lives. People chase after immortality for countless reasons, most of them selfish in nature. But Baizhu defies the norm. I know of no one else who yearns for eternal life as a means to endure limitless suffering. Perhaps this stubborn defiance is necessary to practice medicine. What doctor can expect to bring patients back from the brink who does not cling to the hope of life despite impossible odds? However sheer his determination, the future is always uncertain. But surely anyone bold enough to shoulder responsibility for the lives and deaths of others deserves reverence and respect.
Absolutely. Yeah, I like that character a lot. But Dehya's better! Alright, so that's 30 trailers we watched in today's episode, which means there's 49 left. We'll get there. Next episode, I'm going to react to the rest of the trailers in one sitting. This one took over 2 hours to do. I'm not sitting here for a further 2.5 hours reacting to the rest. There's going to have to be a part 3 to this series. So if you want to see that, then you know what to do. I don't have to tell you. Subscribe. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all enjoyed today's episode of Genshin Impact trailer reactions. A lot of amazing characters have been introduced, but the character that I want the most, I don't have to say it anymore, but I'm going to say it anyway. Dehya. Dehya is incredible. Everything about her, her look, her persona, her personality, her aesthetic. her abilities, her weapon, everything. I need to have her in my team. I don't know if I can still pull for her. Is her banner still out? Like, what? Is she gonna get a rerun? I need to know, because that was so far up the list that it's been ages. I need to know. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you like the video as well. You guys smashed the like goal in the last episode, so let's smash the like goal in today's episode. Let's go for 2,000 likes. If you can do that, then I'd appreciate it, and I'll get the next episode out as quick as possible. But in the meantime, look after yourselves. Thank you so much for a fantastic time with me today, and let me know what your favorite trailer was from today's video. Anyway, that's going to be it for me, and as always, stay geeky, stay cool, be awesome, and be happy, and I'll see you dudes in my next Genshin Impact video. See you later, dudes.